Hello everyone, my name is Matt and I have recently started developing video games. I come from a background of filmmaking and writing. I just absolutely love to make stuff, and I've made music, documentaries and lots of narrative pieces experimenting with live action and animation. I've always loved games and the idea of developing my own. I was even the Game Dev Society's videographer back at uni. So I figured I'd finally start, and I knew I had to start small and simple. So I looked around at what was free and could help me make a small, simple game. I settled on Ren'Py, the free engine for making visual novels. I love visual novels. I love Danganronpa and Persona, which use visual novel elements, and I love Coffee Talk. Hot take though, I wasn't too fond of Doki Doki. I came at this from a completely amateur and inexperienced perspective, so I decided to keep it simple. I felt having a conversation between two parties would be easiest. I had previously tried to develop some text adventures of Adrift, but ended up going too big and too complex and not finishing them. Expanding on this, I felt it could be fun for the main gameplay loop to be you trying to sell something to someone who is also trying to sell you something. If you've ever worked in B2B marketing or sales, you may know this terrible feeling quite well. I settled on sheep pretty quickly, but also considered narwhals. No real reason why, I think they look cool. But sheep fit the bill much better because of a saying, selling wool to sheep, which became part of the game. I made some pixel art in Photoshop and plonked it into Ren'Py. I figured out how to make ever-expanding dialogue branches and copied the structure of being able to pick from free responses to any given statement, over and over and over again. I did this a lot and fleshed out tons and tons of conversations. While fun, this was probably a mistake. If I have any game dev tips from making my first game, it's to pursue something called the minimum state of requirement, meaning getting all the bare essentials into the game before expanding. I was just expanding. This created a lot of work in the future as I had to make sure all the paths had enough depth to them. This made a lot of work for me and left me feeling a bit burnt out. So after a break for a couple of months, I came back to it and finished it off. I wanted to express this feeling of being trapped in a job, in your life, in society, as well as how dehumanising it can all feel. Both Blake and Whitney are in jobs they clearly don't like and are reaching out to have some sort of fulfilment, companionship and achievement. They're also very goofy. There's a lot of comedy in the game, and that's because when it comes to tone, I wanted it to feel like the player got what they put in. If they wanted to say stupid and silly things, then they'd get a stupid and silly game. If they want to say heartfelt things, then they get a very heartfelt game. If they want to do a mix, they get a mix. My logic was, it's like a choose your own adventure game, but the adventures you choose can vary wildly in tone and emotional resonance. Next, I added some animation from Photoshop and Premiere into the background. I wanted to show how they're literally in the same situation, hence the same offices but recoloured. And then I made some music in Ableton Live. Music is another thing I'm very new to but slowly teaching myself. I mixed in some sheep noises from Freesound Archive to really bump up the Foley. And then yeah, that's pretty much done. The goal of the game is defined as selling as much wool as possible. But honestly, you figure out your own end goal as you go. Maybe after talking to Whitney you want to find a way to save his marriage, or encourage him to follow his dreams, or maybe you want Blake to get into the life of crime or pursue something else. There's a lot of possibilities. To improve the project, I definitely want to add like an animated end screen to each ending, but that's obviously a lot of work for a quick first project, more meant to teach me the ropes of game development than be a perfect art piece. I learned a lot from making this, and I'm extremely happy that I did. It's my first and definitely not my last. If you want to play it, it's on match.io, link in the description. If you want to give me any feedback, please do. I'm all ears. Also, if you're interested in starting your own game dev journey, I do fully recommend Ren'Py as a beginner engine. It helps you pick up basic Python, and the creator of the engine has made a very comprehensive wiki that can help you out a lot. Plus, there's a very passionate community behind Ren'Py who are very vocal on forums, which is a big help. Adrift is also a great and very easy to use engine for those with no coding experience. My previous project, not manifesting, wasn't due to an issue with the engine, but my planning. Please like, subscribe and stay tuned as I walk you through some more games I've been making in future videos. And hopefully you'll see me improve.